to meet you both. Is it okay if I call you both James and Charlotte?
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay, great. I hope the drive wasn't too bad today. I know the weather hasn't been the best lately with all the rain and everything, so.
It's been pretty bad out, but we made it fine here, though.
Oh, good. So before we get started, I just wanted to go over a couple of things. The first is confidentiality, so everything said in here is confidential, but I am a state mandated reporter, so if I believe that anything said leads to you being in any imminent harm or a danger to others, then I do have to report that. Are there any questions?
No, that makes sense.
Okay. Also, too, I just wanted to go over briefly how sessions will go. So they'll be around an hour, and we'll meet at the same time as long as that works for you both. And our first session will be just a little bit shorter. We'll just be working together to gather some information about what brought you both here. So I'll also be taking some notes, so if you see me looking down or writing anything, that's why.
Okay.
James, does that sound okay to you?
Yep, it's all good.
Okay, so why don't we start first by just talking about some of the problems that are occurring between you both.
Okay, I mean, I can start.
Okay, sure. Feel free to start wherever you'd like.
Well, James has had some issues with his behavior for a while now. I mean, since 3rd grade, and he's in 8th grade now, and they're just getting worse. I don't know what to do anymore. I mean, I guess that's why we're here, because I'm just lost as to what I should be doing.
Okay, it sounds like you're struggling with a lot, and that these issues have been going on for a while now. Would you mind describing these issues a little bit more?
Well, okay, I mean, it started with him at first just being disrespectful, and now he's missing school, and he's not coming home on time, and he's been hanging around some friends that are not good influences on him, and he's getting angry, and it just seems like his anger just takes over sometimes.
Okay, yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of different issues. Is there one that you find to be the most pressing, or just particularly the biggest issue that you want to address first?
Well, I just really wish that he would listen to me. You know, he never really listens. He does what he wants. He's very disrespectful. He doesn't respect me as his mother. If he listened to me, I mean, I think maybe we could avoid some of these problems.
Okay, so just to make sure I'm understanding you correctly, the biggest issue that you want to work on is just James listening to you and being more obedient?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's correct.
Okay, James, I also want to get your input on this too. So what issues do you feel like exist right now between your mom and yourself, or maybe just issues going on with you at school, maybe things with friends?
Whatever she said.
Okay, I know it can be really frustrating and difficult to talk about problems going on, especially things that anger us, but I'm really interested to get your input. That way we could all work together to resolve the issues that are going on.
Okay. I guess it's just my mom, she doesn't let me do what I want to do. I mean, it's like she doesn't respect my choices. I mean, there's other issues, but it's just like I need my own freedom.
Okay, so do you feel like your mom doesn't give you the freedom that you deserve?
Yeah, I mean, it's like she has a curfew at 8 o'clock. I mean, none of my friends have curfews at 8 o'clock. I mean, when she makes rules that are stupid, it's hard for me to follow. I mean, 8 o'clock, that's a stupid rule. I don't think I should have to follow that rule.
I can see how that can be really frustrating. Do you have other examples that frustrate you like that or that anger you?
No, I mean, it's like she blames me for everything. I mean, it doesn't, that's why I get angry all the time. I mean, as soon as I come home, she's always blaming me for whatever.
Okay, so you feel like your mom isn't giving you freedom, that there are rules that aren't fair, and that you're getting blamed a lot for everything that you're doing by your mom.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, so I want to go back to the same question that I asked your mom. For you, if there are one main big problem going on between you and your mom, what would it be?
I just want to do what I want to do, what my friends do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's, she's always saying no, she's always yelling at me for every little thing and every choice I make.
Okay, so now that we've worked together to identify what the most pressing issue is, I'm going to ask some more questions about it, if that's okay with both of you.
That's fine.
Okay, so you mentioned that James just doesn't listen. How often would you say that he doesn't listen?
I mean, every day. It happens every single day.
And okay, when you say he doesn't listen, what are you referring to specifically?
I mean, it happens so often that it's kind of hard to say.
Okay. Even if you could just think of a couple examples. I know that you mentioned earlier that he doesn't come home on time sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good example. I guess you could say he doesn't listen to the rules and he doesn't come home on time.
Okay. And when you say doesn't listen, do you just mean that he tunes you out and that he doesn't hear you, or are you just referring to him not following the rules that you put in place?
I mean, I know he hears me. I just don't think that he wants to follow the rules or do what I ask.
Okay. And is there anyone else in the household that's creating these rules or enforcing these rules?
No, it's just James and me.
Okay. And James, how do you feel about what your mom is saying? Would you agree with her? Disagree?
I guess I hear what she's saying, but when the rules don't make any sense or they're stupid, I don't think I should have to follow them.
Yeah. Okay. I'm curious to know what happens, Charlotte, when you try to enforce a rule, and then James, you don't follow the rule and you just kind of do your own thing and what you think the rule should be.
I mean, it ends up in a huge fight.
Okay. How often would you say these fights are occurring?
I mean, it's like every day. Every day there's an argument.
Okay. So now I want us to just try and reenact an argument. So I know that it can feel kind of weird to do this, but if you guys both just maybe acted out how an argument would be, and then I could see how you two communicate, would that be okay?
So you just want us to act like we're arguing?
Yeah, exactly. I know it sounds kind of silly, but it can really help with communication.
I guess I could try that.
Okay. So I'll kind of just set the stage. Let's say that James comes home late for dinner and you haven't been able to reach him all day, and you told him to text you and tell you where he was at, but he didn't, and so he comes home for dinner super late and he's frustrated and doesn't want to talk. So I want you now to both act out how this would play out if it were just a normal argument.
Well, I mean, I can start. James, where have you been all day? I asked you to text me and tell me where you were, and you haven't. And then you show up an hour late.
I just didn't feel like coming home then.
Didn't feel like coming home? I mean, that doesn't mean that you don't have to follow the rules, James. You can't just keep doing whatever you want. We have rules in this house.
Well, I was going to.
No, I don't care what you were going to do. It's about what you didn't do. You didn't text me like you were supposed to, and you didn't come home like you were supposed to.
Okay, whatever. I tried telling you, and you continue to yell. So now I'll start to yell. That's why I get so angry.
Okay, great. I'm going to stop you guys both there. I know that can feel really weird to do, especially in front of a therapist, but I just wanted to say thanks because it can really help me understand how you both communicate. So I'm just going to point a few things out that I noticed. James, it seems that at first you really just wanted to try and communicate with your mom, but you felt as if she wasn't listening and she was blaming you, and that's when you started to get angry. And Charlotte, I could tell that you meant really well, but your questions just make James feel that you're solely blaming him rather than hearing him out. So I sense that you want to be assertive and stern with your rules, but it appeared at this point it's when James continued to get more and more angry when you kept bringing up the rules.
I mean, I guess I could see that.
Yeah, I feel like I'm always getting blamed instead of you just hearing me. It always turns into this fighting.
It looks like we're coming close to the end of the session, so for our next session, I wanted to go more over the enactment and just discuss what both of you had tried so far to resolve these issues. Does that sound okay?
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay,
Thanks.
good, thanks.